Hello and welcome to this BioProcess International Ask the Expert webcast. I'm your host, Leah Rosen, the online editor for BioProcess International. Before we get started, just a couple of notes. This webcast is being recorded and will be made available for replay in the multimedia section of our website. We've muted the audio lines, but we welcome you to type in your questions for our speaker in the chat window on your screen. After the presentation, we will begin the question and answer portion, and I will ask our speakers your questions from the chat window. Your questions in the chat window will only be visible to myself and our speakers. So thank you for joining us today. It is now my pleasure to introduce our speaker, Graham Proctor from Parker Hannifin.
Hello everyone. My name is Graham Proctor and I'm the Product Manager for Single-Use Technologies at Parker based in the UK, and I'm excited to introduce a new concept in single-use technology. Within the biopharm industry, speed to market of the final drug product is a critical key factor. In theory, single-use technology can help immensely with reducing this, but in reality, things are not always clear-cut. Often, fully customized solutions are designed for the individual end user, and there is no one-size-fits-all approach which can meet the need for each and every individual process. This can cause many problems and unexpected delays, which I will talk about as we go through this presentation. But to alleviate these issues, Parker have listened to what the industry want, with some of the aspects being reliable lead times, fast delivery, quality of products, and a secured supply chain. From this, we have adopted a fresh approach to single-use assembly design that can deliver the speed of a standard single-use solution with the design flexibility to meet the individual needs of your process, so that the end user is able to bring in the revenue they need. And this is single-use reinvented. So, if we take a timeline approach and look at the current state of single-use and its implementation within the industry, the process begins with the end user deciding that they need a single-use solution for their process and reaching out to either one or several vendors. The end user may already know exactly what they need, which in the majority of cases is a non-standard solution. But equally, they may need some advice from the vendor, and in either case, drawings and a quotation for the single-use solution would be drawn up by the vendor. And the speed of this may be dependent on pricing and lead time information obtained from other parties. These drawings would then be reviewed at least once by the end user, and in some situations there may be multiple revisions. So already the process may be into several weeks. Once the drawings are approved, the end user may require a sample for form, fit and function. And they may require the compliance data available for each individual component part, which, while it may be available, getting it is not always easy, and the data available may only be on non-irradiated components. Again, time is all adding up. Once the end user is then happy with everything, then they may place an order. Again, lead times for getting components can cause delays as supply chains can become complex. Finally, the product will be delivered to the end user, and while in the best case scenario, the delivery time may be acceptable, in many cases it may be more than the end user was expecting. To combat these uncertain or unexpected lead times, Parker have launched Psylocke Select Go, a new approach to single-use assembly design. Psylocke Select Go can offer the speed of a standard single-use solution with the design flexibility to meet the individual needs of the end user process. How can we do this? Psylocke Select Go assemblies are designed and manufactured from a design space or toolbox of pre-validated and stocked component parts for which the supply chain is known to be robust and reliable. This approach can allow extensive configuration of assemblies while allowing design and lead times to be minimized. The key benefits of Psylocke Select Go are a rapid design turnaround, rapid sample manufacture, reliable delivery, an extensive validation package, and localized manufacture based in both the UK and within the US. So how can this benefit you, the end user? By having this design space, we are able to reduce the time taken for drawings and quotations to be 5 days or less, to provide samples for form, fit and function within a week, and have final product ready to ship within 8 weeks from order placement. Choose Psylocke Select Go, and this is Parker's promise to you. Additionally, as Parker have thoroughly tested the included components after irradiation to ensure they are fit for purpose, Psylocke Select Go assemblies come with an extensive compliance and validation package, which is summarized within our validation guide and includes data to support claims on USP88, USP661, USP788, USP85, a TSE BSE statement. We've assessed the shipping of containers according to ASTM D4169-16. We're able to offer 2-year shelf life and gamma irradiation and sterilization according to ISO 11137. By having all of this information readily available, time is saved in design, manufacture, and end user validation. So, what if you need something that isn't covered within the design space? Well, that's not a problem, but it could extend the drawing and quotation times to more than 5 days, and we may not be able to guarantee delivery within 8 weeks, with a more standard lead time being utilized on these occasions. To demonstrate the variety of options that we have within our Psylocke Select Go design space, I would now like to talk about the component groups we have available. Firstly, we have silicon tubing. We have Mitos P, a non-reinforced platinum cured silicon which is ideal for use in manifolds, especially where peristaltic pumping is required at low pressure. And we have Mitos R, a polyester braided reinforced platinum cured silicon which is not suited for peristaltic pumping but is ideal for manifolds which require a higher pressure rating. Next we have thermoplastic elastomer tubing, or more commonly known as TPE tubing. TPE is a low permeability tubing that can be heat sealed or bonded. We have C-Flex 374 and C-Flex 082. C-Flex would not typically be used if peristaltic pumping is required. If peristaltic pumping is required with TPE materials, we have BioProcess pumping elements and FarmEd tubing, which are specifically designed for this purpose. For joining tubing together, we have both retainers and junctions. If we look at retainers, we have several options. We have overmolding, which gives the advantage of a single uniform internal flow path, which can overcome material compatibility issues and mitigate the risk of thermal and mechanical stress. While it can only join like-for-like materials, overmolding has the benefit of simplifying the validation process when a single material of construction is required. We have Oerlikon clamps and bar blocks, which offer a 360-degree compression and an automated tensioning system which can be applied to a known force and are suitable for all material types. And finally, we have tie wraps. For junctions, we have a wide variety of T, X and Y junctions and reducers or straights, which can be either barbed or overmolded. And we also have barbed elbows. We have a wide variety of both aseptic and non-aseptic connectors and disconnectors, for which we have chosen to include CPC Aseptic Quick G and S connectors. These are genderless connectors which can enable sterile connections even in non-sterile environments and are available in both gamma-stable and autoclavable versions. We have quick disconnects from CPC, and these include the MPX, MPC and MPU range. These are ideal for rapid changeouts and are available in both polycarbonate and polysulfone. And finally, we have included the HFC39 aseptic disconnector, again from CPC. The tri-clamp fittings included are available in polypropylene hose bar versions with smooth surface finishes which ensure uninterrupted flow with no particulate buildup. And also integrated silicon and TPE overmolded tri-clamps are available in mini, standard and step-up styles. A full range of fittings is also available for the tri-clamps. Further tube terminations included are lure caps and barbs, which are manufactured from polypropylene, caps and plugs for the full range of CPC disconnects, needleless swabbable injection sites which have a polycarbonate body and a silicon valve. These allow for sampling without contaminating the product. We have pips or tube plugs which can be inserted into the end of all tubing sizes and types to protect against contamination. And to disconnect and seal silicon tubes in situ, there are the NovaSeal crimped disconnects. For sensing and automation, we have our Psylocke range of pre-calibrated single-use sensors. We have PsyPress for monitoring and controlling pressure, PsyTemp for monitoring and controlling temperature, and PsyCon for monitoring and measurement of conductivity. All sensors are available in fittings which can ensure scale-up from the bench top to pilot and production scale. For BioProcess containers, we have both bags and bottles. Our bags are manufactured using Parker's DuraPure C93 film, a high-clarity medical film designed to provide the best combination of strength, flexibility, gas barrier, and low extractables. The product contact layer of this 5-layer film is ultra-low density polyethylene, and the gas barrier layer is ethylene vinyl alcohol. Our BioProcess container bags are available in 2D and 3D formats in a variety of sizes, and our standard range is for pillar bags 500 ml to 25 litres, for hanging bags 500 ml to 25 litres, and for 3D bags 50 litres to 500 litres. But we also have the ability to custom design bags to create value to the end user's needs. For 3D bags, we are also able to offer totes for secure storage and use. And then we have bottles. We have both PETG and polycarbonate Nalgene bottles in a wide variety of sizes and styles. For filtration, we have Parker's range of normal flow filtration and hollow fibers, including ProPort TFF hollow fiber cross-flow filters for microfiltration and ultrafiltration applications. These single-use TFF filters come ready to use and require minimal flushing as they are supplied glycerin-free. We have ProPore membrane filters, which are manufactured from PES and ideal for mycoplasma removal, sterilizing grade filtration, and bioburden reduction. And we have ProClear depth filters, which are included for general clarification of solutions. Psylocke Select Go also complements Parker's range of automated BioProcess systems, which include systems for normal flow filtration, tangential flow filtration, virus filtration, and bulk final filtration and dispensing. So finally, once again, many thanks for your attention. And to recap, Psylocke Select Go single-use assemblies allow configuration for all your process needs. They ship within 8 weeks and come with a full validation support package. And on that note, I would like to invite any questions you may have.
Great. Thanks, Graham. So we have the first question is, we've heard of 6 weeks delivery time from some vendors. Will you move to that?
No. What we want to do with Psylocke Select Go range is to be able to offer a reliable and robust delivery time. What we don't want to do is be able to promise a delivery time which we can't hit. We know through historic sales and historic manufacture of our single-use assemblies that 8 weeks is achievable, and on a recent project we've actually been able to design, manufacture and deliver a product to a customer, albeit a simple bag assembly, to a customer within 2 weeks. So just to reiterate, what we want to be able to do is have that reliable delivery time, and for our customers to be able to trust that when we give a date, we will hit that date, and go on from there. And we don't feel that at this moment in time we have a need to reduce that lead time any further.
And what is on the certificate of analysis?
So if you stick within the Psylocke Select Go range, everything that we've talked about in this presentation, then you will have everything which is on the slides, which I'll just go back and show you if I can find it. So you get, you would have a certificate of analysis which would show all of the compliance data that you get by staying within this design space. So you would have the USP 88, you would have USP 661, USP 788, 85. You would have the TSE BSE statement on there, the 2-year shelf life, the kilograms that the radiation has occurred to, and whether you have if you opt for sterile, then you would have a statement on there to say that the assembly is sterile, and on there, so you would also have we test every single assembly that we manufacture, so there will be a statement on there to say that it has passed the assembled leak test.
Okay. And how do I submit a request?
Okay, if you want to submit a request, if you go to the website www.parker.com/select-go, you will find more information around the Select Go range, and you will also see a button at the top right there where you would be able to request a quotation or request more information. If you click on that, fill in the form, then that will go through to a centralized location who will assess whether it's a US or a European-based assembly, and that would be distributed to the correct offices for their attention. Failing that, if you want to go through your local Parker representative, they'd be quite willing to help you to submit a request also.
Okay. And what if I want to include something in my assembly that's not in Parker's design space?
Yeah, again, that isn't a problem. If I go back to one of the other slides here. Okay, so if it's not included within our design space, then it's not a problem. We can still quote for that. We can still provide samples. We can still create a manufactured assembly for you. The only downside to that is we don't have all of the validation data to go along with that as tested by ourselves after irradiation. So some of those components, the actual compliance data, and the irradiation statements as to how stable the product is, would actually be reliant on third-party vendor information which we would receive when we order those components. Because we have to go through another vendor and we may not have a secure supply route currently in place for that, the knock-on effect would be that the initial quotation time may increase to more than 5 days, and that there will be a standard lead time involved in that, and we may not be able to offer the 8-week lead time. So yes, by all means, we can actually incorporate things outside of this design space, but the main benefit of staying within this design space is speed and reliability of delivery times to the end user.
And just to clarify, do you provide prototypes?
Yes, we can provide prototypes. As I say, after the first initial design stage, once the customer is happy with that, then we are able to provide a non-irradiated sample for form, fit and function. Now, if that's within the design space, we can have that manufactured within a week and then shipped to the customer. If it's outside of that design space, then again, the lead time for getting components for that prototype may increase.
Okay. Well, I think that is about all the time that we have today. So thank you, Graham.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for coming along to hear our exciting news from Parker. And we look forward to be able to bring more exciting news in the future.
Great. And just as a reminder, the recorded version of this webcast will be available for on-demand viewing on our website, and as a registered attendee, you'll receive a follow-up email providing you with a direct link. We look forward to having you at future BioProcess International Ask the Expert webcast. Look for those announcements in your inbox.